Hi, YouTube fans. This is Matt of Post April 6th. Today is December 23rd, and it is 2 days away from Christmas Day. Yes, that's true. And guess what I will be eating again? Is the beef and bacon twisters that are on skewer sticks. And these have Montreal steak, seasoned steak spice. And my kitty Isabella is sitting next to me. There she is. Yeah, that's a good close-up of her face. Hi, kitty. Okay, I cleaned off the lens a little bit. Oh, let me get that thing out of the way. Ah, sorry. I had to do it that way. There we go. My kitty's sitting on the edge. It sure is nice to eat this. Even though it's in the middle of the night, I don't care. I'm hungry and I need it. Well, first I'll dip it in the A1 sauce. Yum, yum, yum. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. I already eaten one, so there's 3 more to go. Two down, 2 more to go. funny, isn't it? The whole purpose of this video isn't just to see me eat these. I got some pretty interesting things to talk about. Stay tuned. Don't go away. 3 down, and this is the last one. Had to pick up the napkin. Ladies and gentlemen, I hold in my hand the last bite. Even got just a little tiny bit of coffee left. Inside this coffee is a powdered version of Cold Snap. I'm getting I'm getting over a bad head cold. I got to take the plate to the kitchen and put it in the kitchen sink. So I will be right back. Don't go away. There's more. There's some interesting things I'm going to talk about. Kick off your shoes and sit right down. That's from one of the songs that Rod Stewart created. I believe the title of the song is Tonight's the Night, or something to that effect. Yeah, he's a very, very talented musician. He really is. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about was not just the cold that I had, but a lot of other things. Here's what happened when, as far as the cold. Actually, it was before I really started to recognize I had a cold. On the evening of, I believe it was the 16th of December, I worked quite late. Didn't work any overtime or anything, but I worked a roughly 3 to close shift or something to that effect. I remember we were all busy. We were really doing a lot of walking around and hustling and bustling. The whole crew of the grocery store I work at. And I started to feel kind of achy and tired, and I thought, well, I worked so hard, it's just one of those things. You're tired. And then I came home and I ate some food, and by golly, I was feeling better. For a while. For about 2 or 3 hours. Then I crawl in bed and I go to sleep. And the way I felt nasally, I felt stuffed up, and I started to have a sore throat, and I started coughing. And, despite all of that, I made breakfast. And then I really started feeling worse and worse and worse. I mean, Sunday, I felt terrible. And what I did was I took some cold snap and I took some aspirin, and I started to drink more water and some other things. And with the way I was coughing and the way and as weak as I was feeling, I was actually starting to be worried that I had the COVID virus. I was like, oh no, this can't be happening. Maybe I should go get checked at the emergency room. Maybe I should have somebody come over here, the paramedics come over and examine me. I was just thinking of all types of dramas, and I just thought, no. All the viruses, because I wasn't vomiting, I didn't have a bad temperature. I checked my temperature over 5 times, and I didn't have diarrhea. I didn't have trouble breathing, even though I did have a bad cough, and I was just like, I'm just going to have to tough it out. So what I did finally do was, when I started to feel well enough, and after I took a good shower and I felt better, but I still felt sick. I took a Uber ride from my house to about not a 3/4 of a mile away, but close to it, to a CVS pharmacy that is on East Hampton. In fact, it's on a part of East Hampton and Tamarack intersection where it was pretty close to where I was hit by a car in the middle of South Tamarack Drive on the street. Yep. I swear to God, it's true. And I went into the CVS pharmacy. I picked up the prescription drugs that were waiting for me. I can't say what that is because I don't want the Food and Drug Administration or the Center for Disease Control, CDC, placing a sanction or any type of unwanted consequence against me. And then what I did before I picked up the prescription drugs was I made a lengthy deposit that I needed to because, it was a payday advance, and what it's about, it's a bill that I have to pay, but I really better not talk about this one because I don't want to be in jeopardy with the financial company that I'm dealing with to make a pretty large payment every month that I have to keep my house in West Virginia. And then I think what I did, it was either this particular visit or it was the next one. I bought a box of Christmas cards. Okay, so after I made the deposit on my account through through the debit card, and after I picked up the prescription drugs, and then I think I might have bought something else, but I don't remember for sure. It was either that visit or the next day. So much was going on, I can't exactly pinpoint when I bought the Christmas cards, but I know I bought them there. I clearly remember that. Okay, so then what I did was, after I was done there, I carefully, and I made sure not to walk too slow or not walk too fast. I carefully walked to roughly about 2 city blocks in distance away to Whole Foods market. And what I bought was, I bought a salad that I made myself. It was about a little more than a half a pound. It was a light salad. It wasn't one of those extravagant, bulky ones where there's a whole bunch of ingredients in it. And I examined the chicken noodle blends, and the only one that was any good was, I think it's pronounced Rao or Rau, R-A-O, Italian related food company that bakes some good TV dinners, Italian-based frozen foods or TV dinners, and they also have some good marinara spaghetti sauce and some other things. And then what I did was, after I paid for that, I got a either an Uber or a Lyft ride back to my apartment. And I just basically made the best of it. And then when it was time, I went to sleep. And then I went home and I stayed. Actually, let me make a correction on that. I went home and I got rested for a little bit after I ate it. I felt better, but I still had a cold. And I took a RTD bus from my from intersection that is close to where I live. It's near Ulster. Sorry, that's all I'm going to say. And it's right in front of Hamden Heights apartment complex and Christ Community Church. Or no, well, it used to be Christ Community Church, now it's Hillside Community Church, excuse me. And I went into the grocery store. And I purchased some eggs and another food-related entree. No, actually, it wasn't food. It was Cold Snap powder. Instead of the tablets, it was the powder that you mix in with a hot tea, hot apple cider, or coffee, or however you like to do it. Just simple cold water in a drinking cup. And using that made me feel better. So then I slept the next day until a few hours, and then I remember waking up at least twice. First time was to go to the bathroom, and the second time was to feed my cat and get a drink of water and go to the bathroom and do something else, whatever that was. And then I go back to sleep, and then I get up and I carefully make breakfast. And I do mean carefully. And then I kept, I did this at least 3 times. I would get some hot coffee and I would mix in the Cold Snap powder. And I got some other things done that I needed to, but I made sure not to overdo it. And then on the next day, I went to work, and I showed up a little late, but I showed up, and I did the work that I was supposed to do, and I stayed through and through till the end. Yeah. And I made sure to get while I was on my first break, 15-minute break, I bought a Starbucks decaf coffee at the kiosk that's in there, that's in the store, and I mixed it up. Mixed up the cold snap, cold and flu remedy, or cold and congestion remedy powder in there, and I just kept mixing it, so that it wouldn't just form into one thick pile of powder that would be normally in a capsule pill. And I believe what I did, it was either that night or it was the next night. I think it was more likely the next night. I was feeling a whole lot better. Yeah, I think it was Wednesday night. I was really feeling a lot better. Despite the cough I had, I felt more energetic. I felt like less achy. And when I got home, fairly late at night, I stayed up. And I swear to God, I kid you not, I stayed up until 5 o'clock in the morning putting already printed address labels for the Christmas cards, and I sent out, again, I kid you not, I know I've said this phrase before, over 50 postcards. Yes, 50. And what happened is I ran out of stamps. So I got all the postcards done, or excuse me, the Christmas cards done, but I didn't have all the stamps. So on the next day, after I get a good night's sleep, I make sure not to sleep too late, and with my Lyft ride home, after I did what I had to do at the post office, and this is before I got the Uber, the Lyft ride to work. I kept popping stacks of like 4 in the little slot inside the post office. And I just kept doing it, and I just did this as fast as I could, and then I got the Lyft ride or the Uber ride, and I got to work. I was about 8 to 10 minutes late, but you know, I did what I had to do. I wanted it to be a load off my mind. And today, before I left for work, I put the stamps on the cards that I needed to, on the envelopes that had a YouTube flyer for my YouTube channel to people that I know, and some people that I bet would be introducing myself to them for the first time. And then I got to work a little bit late. Now today, I was more successful at what I needed to get done. I slept in till about a little after 1 p.m. I was tired. I needed the rest. And as soon as I get up and get out of bed, I start doing a ton of dishwashing. And I mean a ton. I wash, out of forks, spoons, knives, I probably washed altogether at least 11 or 14 of them. I mean a lot. 4 butter knives, at least 5 forks, at least 2 to 3 spoons, 1 large spoon, you name it. And I just kept scrubbing away until I got it all done. And then I started doing the cooking of the breakfast that I like to have, which is instead of 3 or 4 strips of breakfast sausage, I did 3 strips of Duroc bacon, which makes makes some really good breakfast sausage. I did the Duroc bacon, or I cooked the Duroc bacon in one pan, and then I cooked the hash browns in a larger pan, and then I scrambled the eggs, and I made the eggs a certain way that I like to do that. And and then I ate breakfast, and right after I got done eating breakfast, I watched one YouTube clip that was done by a YouTube member named Clyde Beck. He's a pretty neat guy. I don't watch him a lot, but when I watch him because whatever he's got that I like, it's really intriguing. Everything else is just, it's not bad, it's just not my style. I mean, thumbs up to Clyde Beck. He does a pretty good job. He really does. He's really thorough about the specific location, what it means in a movie, or what it means in real life, if it's not movie related. Anyways, here's what I did last night. I watched several different. It's not one whole episode. I watched several different. I guess they would be called shorts, or compilations. More like compilations than shorts. I did several different. I looked at several different clips on YouTube about the original Dallas TV series, the one that was on the air from 1978 until about 1991. And I saw a lot of fight scenes, and I saw several, and it wasn't just fights between Bobby Ewing and JR, or Bobby Ewing kicking the crap out of somebody who really pushed him around. It was some very heated arguments between some of the women where they wound up slapping each other. And there was one scene. Let me give you a lot of information about this so you fully understand what I'm talking about. Okay. George Kennedy played was one of many adversaries against the Ewings. He disliked, as always in that TV series, he disliked and had more of a dislike and resentment towards J.R. Ewing than Bobby Ewing type of adversarial syndrome. And one of the bad things about the George Kennedy playing a adversary named Carter McKay, he had a son named Tommy McKay, who was a sick drug it, cocaine addicted, evil. I'm just going to come right out and say it. Evil, sick son of a bitch. I'm just like thinking, I know you're just an actor playing a bad guy, but if that guy comes knocking on my apartment and treats me like that, I'm going to slam the door really hard and I'm going to call Denver police like that. I am. I'm not going to put up with that crap. Nobody should. Nobody should. Everybody who has somebody kicking the crap and they're cussing, screaming, and making some very threatening remarks, it's illegal. That's very serious harassment. They should call the police again, like that. Okay. Okay, well, Tommy was trying to in a very evil domestic man versus woman domestic abuse type issue. He was trying to frighten a character named April into giving him money, and he kept pushing her around, and he slapped her several times. And I don't know exactly how he was stopped, but somehow he ran away, I would assume. The next time, or the next episode where you see Tommy going down the stairs and leaving, Bobby Ewing steps in and he really violently beats that guy up in a way that was totally justifiable, because Bobby Ewing had every right to do what he did to I don't remember the actor's name, but the character Tommy McKay, or Tommy the son. Oh yeah. And one of the other episodes it was the last episode of this Tommy the son, or Tommy the villain, one of the most evil ones. Tommy was surrounded by over 5 to 10 police with county sheriff or Texas law enforcement, and Carter McKay, played again by George Kennedy, was trying to reason with him to turn himself in and get into drug rehabilitation, a drug rehabilitation program that would work. And then finally what they did was they struggled with a gun, and boom, right in the upper chest, Tommy shot himself to death. And he died a few minutes later. And I felt more bad for the Carter McKay character than Tommy, but I was just like, I really wish that Tommy, the son, came to his senses and dropped the gun and says, "All right, Dad, let's go. I'll go to drug rehab. You show me the way. I'll follow you, and I won't argue with you and smart after you and be uncooperative." He didn't do that. He ended his life in the most terrible way ever. I mean, that was good to see, but that's what happens in real life when people get heavily addicted to narcotics or other drugs. I mean, I know a lot of you people know that, but I'll say it anyway. Okay, so yesterday and today, I worked pretty hard. And both days I did a lot of cashiering instead of working the self-checkout areas, the self-checkout kiosks. And that was nice to do things that way. Sorry, I kept pausing because I had to scratch my back. and I got done at a little after 10:30, and I took an RTD ride back home because I was just like, I really don't think I should be spending money on Uber or Lyft today. I need to save a few bucks, which was a wise thing to do. And then after I got home, I put away my groceries. I fed my kitty cat, and I logged on and I took care of a financial issue that I'm not allowed to discuss. Not allowed to discuss it. And then after I made the payment that I made, I sent an email to the Service Resolution division of this financial institution, and then I printed out a invoice for a postcard that I sold on eBay. Yep, I have at least 14 different postcards for sale, and a lot of them are biblically oriented because it's the Holy Land parts of Jerusalem. It's not just somewhere way out there where it's a rather old house that, I don't mean disrespect to the Jewish people and all the people who live out there, but the houses that are quite old and have seen better days, even though they do the best they can to take care of them. And I'll be sending out that postcard here pretty soon. Me showing that postcard, I really better not, because the seller could really raise an awful lot of hell with me if I did. Can't have that going on. Can't do it. Won't do it. And it's in my best interest not to even think about it. Okay, I stepped away to have a little fix of ice cream. I just needed the taste of some really good Baskin-Robbins, one of those little quart-sized things or pint-sized things of ice cream. Yep. And I'm petting my kitty cat. Yep, she's sitting down next to me really nice. Okay, what this is my P.O. Box address that I still have. If anybody would like to send me a Christmas card, a New Year's card, a greeting card, you can even send me a little gift card that's Visa or MasterCard with anywhere between $15 and over $25 if you'd like. And if you just want to send me a nice recipe, you can do that as well. Or if all you want to do is just send a little tiny bit of money, send me one of these. Well, I just don't know what else to do, so here I'll do this. I'm gonna smoke my pipe. Stay there. I'll be right back. Well, I thought I'd light up my pipe. Let's got to work on this a little more. I'm going to get out a little small photo album and show you a few photographs. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. That right there is me when I was only a few months old, and the woman who is holding me is my late mother, Alice Katie Pike Chipman. She was born in Hannibal, Missouri in July 30th, 1940, and her and her parents moved to Denver, either Colorado Springs or Denver, one of the two, and then they moved to Denver. Eventually, they moved to Colorado Springs first. I can't remember exactly what happened with that one. Excuse me. Whew. This is kind of like a burley that's fairly high quality. And my mother, quite unfortunately, I know I've talked about this before, after suffering from childhood diabetes and developing a heart condition or heart disease when she was 40. 11 years after she had first had open heart surgery when she was 40, she had her first heart attack when she was 44. And then she had a second heart attack shortly after she turned 51. And this was in August of, I think, roughly little after the first week of August of 1991. And then she had her third heart attack in somewhere between 7 a.m. and 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. of August 25th, 1991. And she only lived a few short more hours. And somewhere between 11:10 and 11:25 a.m. Mountain Time of August 25th, 1991, she died. And believe me, I cried my eyes out. I was there. Because after I went in to see her, she was just laying there unconscious with a ventilator tube in her mouth. And she was limp and cold. Okay. I better not discuss that any further because I don't want to make people feel ultimately depressed. Okay, that is a photograph of me in front of a house in Lemon Grove, California. I put my hand over one side of it because, you see, I don't want the address of this and the actual likeness and property of the house to be compromised. All I will say is that it is on a street called El Prado, which means the main in Spanish. Or El Prado means, in Spanish, translates to the main in English. That photograph was taken in March of 2006. That was when my hair turned gray, and that was before I was wearing prescription eyeglasses. Here is a part of rural San Diego County. I believe this would be in Imperial Valley, I think. Imperial something. Okay, I know I've talked about my cat Isabella. Here is a cat that I had between 1992 and 1995. It is a purebred Chartreux cat named Squeaky. And this cat, quite unfortunately, I saw her die in August of 1995. It was most likely either feline leukemia or FIV. FIV is also known as kitty AIDS. And when I saw her die, believe me, I really cried pretty hard. And a few days later, I disposed of her body. Here is a cat that I used to own named Penguin. And I had this wood frame border added as a special effect. I did that myself on a software program. And I had Penguin. I adopted her in January of 2009, 2 years before I was hit by a car. And I kept her until about January 7th, 8th, or 9th of 2013, and I had to give her away. The reason I had to give her away was my father just said, I don't want to go through this again. Because I had moved back to live with him at the time because my personal situation was things had collapsed so badly for me financially. I had to do it. I had to go live with him. And I gave the cat away to and another cat named Milkshake to a cat, to a lady who was on the 6th floor, or no, the 4th floor of the apartment building I lived at the time, which was then called Cobblestone Hill. Now it's under a different name and it's under totally different ownership because she really liked those two cats quite a lot. Okay, well, that's really about it with the photographs for now. But I really enjoyed life, And despite the illness, I know that Christ our Savior would help me deal with this. He helped me overcome it, and He did. Tomorrow, I got to be at work. The shift that I'm working, I really better not say out loud because I don't want to catch hell from the general manager of the grocery store I work at. And I'm really going to be hustling and bustling and moving both arms and legs and moving my head around like this and the whole 9 yards. And I'm going to be talking, like that. Doing quite a lot of talking. Quite a lot of lifting, quite a lot of helping. Well, I don't know about lifting, but I'm going to do more in a little bit, that's for sure. And on Christmas Eve, I work 4 hours, and then I will be home here approximately somewhere between 7:30 and about 8:15. And I'm gonna really get laid back and sit and pet my kitty and watch some Christmas movies. Yeah. Christmas story movies. I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas, and whether you get a ton of gifts or whether you get no gifts, if you do not know Christ, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, pray to Him and come to know Him. It will make a big difference in your life. It will cost you absolutely, positively, no money at all to believe in Him. Believe in Christ. If you never believed in God at all, follow the Lord before it's too late. Follow the Lord before it's too late. Follow the Lord before it's too late. Amen to everyone, and God bless everyone. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year to everyone. And I wish a lot of greatness to all of you, and goodbye.